Ooh. Friends and followers, welcome back to my channel. It's Halloween night. Time for some scary stuff here on Truckin' It. So welcome back to my channel and greetings from home. It's Halloween night. And we're going to be talking about some spooky stuff coming up right now. If you're a believer in ghost trucks, this episode's for you. So just the other night, I was driving eastbound on Interstate 30. And y'all know how I love cows and horses and the cowboy lifestyle. So here I am in this big honking Freightliner Cascadia pulling my set, when suddenly in front of me a cowboy, and a horse all appear. And this happened about roughly mile marker 175. And they seem to somehow be able to follow me for the next 5 miles. And of course, you all know that these trucks do 65 miles per hour, which is about twice as fast as what an actual horse can go. And then suddenly, they disappear. And then, as I look alongside the road, a ghost rest area pops up, of where there was none before. And I see a bunch of trucks appear, along with a bunch of cars in the woods next to the interstate. And then as I get a couple miles past, all of a sudden this whole thing disappears. And I get further down the road. I get onto Interstate 40 East. And just a couple miles short of Malvern, Arkansas, a ghost truck appears in front of me. This time it's an old Pete 379. And just a couple seconds after it appears, it blows a tire and loses one of its chrome fenders from the driver's side of the truck. I have no time to swerve and avoid all the debris, and the metal fender severed the airline of my lead trailer. And then right after that happens and my truck starts losing air pressure, the ghost truck disappears, resulting in me having to lose 2 hours for a roadside assistance call. And the truck had just enough air pressure to get into the Road Ranger truck stop at that exit. And that's just the first of the spooky stories. So, 3 years ago, tonight, me and my co-driver had just picked up a truck that had gotten out of a repair shop, and it was Halloween morning. We had picked up our trailers that we normally do, got back on the road, and I was heading towards our so-called swapping spot when suddenly, between me and my co-driver, a guardian angel appears and tells me that I think something's wrong with this truck. The guardian angel disappears. We get on the steep grade between Clinton Road and the Pilot off exit Interstate 78 near Clinton, New Jersey. Suddenly, and without warning, I hear a loud bang, and I look down at my gauge cluster, and it's lit up like a Christmas tree. So I take the exit, and then go back a mile, since the Pilot didn't have parking, but there was this little mom and pop called Clinton Truck Stop, where I was able to get parked, get the emergency dealt with, get unhooked from my trailers. Suddenly, after I get off the phone with the roadside assistance crew asking where the wrecker is, a Pete 359 appears alongside me. And for those of y'all that don't know, a 359 is a really old truck. The driver gets out, comes up alongside me and taps me on the shoulder, and lets me know that everything's gonna be alright. Suddenly, then the driver gets back in, and the truck suddenly and magically disappears. I then just patiently wait on the wrecker. And meanwhile, I'm calling up my boss and figuring out the plans on how to get home. And he books us each a ticket on United. So, we get to the Freightliner dealer. We get the truck dropped off and checked in. And I get my stuff ready for the trip. And then we get an Uber to the airport. And get through security, get to our gate, and grab a bite to eat before our flight. So, once we've done that, our flight attendant and our cabin crew and our flight crew all meet up with the passengers just before boarding. And basically I get to talk with one of the flight attendants who's going to be assigned to my section, and I inform her that it's my first time ever flying as a passenger on an airliner. And she tells me what to expect, and my co-driver's already familiar with this stuff, so we get on board, and she notices there's no space between me and him and the passenger that we had been in the row that we had been assigned. So she informs me that I'm allowed to change seats once we get going. And then right at the top of the right after we take off and get up to our cruising altitude, the seatbelt sign's turned off, and me and my co-driver take that back row right next to where we were originally seated. So that way we could get a seat in between us and get some leg room. And man, I really wish the boss would have had us flying in business class instead. But at least that part of the flight went pretty smooth. And then the things get spooky. The flight attendant knows that I'm getting kind of dehydrated, so she just makes sure that she has enough drinks on board, and me and my co-driver each get plenty to drink. And as I'm drinking my soft drink, I look to my right side towards where the empty seat is, and suddenly a guardian angel appears there. And the guardian angel tells me to tighten my seatbelt and to look out the window. When I look out the window, there's this just stunning cloud structure resembling the face of God. And then I look to him again, and he disappears. And then the fasten seatbelt signs come on. And the captain comes on and says, "We're just running into a little bit of clear air turbulence. So you might feel a couple of bumps here or there. Make sure your seatbelt's securely fastened." And the rest of the flight is a bit bumpy, but that's expected with the fact that we were running alongside a cold front that had suddenly appeared. During the middle of the flight. We touched down in DFW, and then get into my boss's truck as he gives us a ride home from the airport. And then I get into my Tundra. The guardian angel appears again. This time in my passenger seat. This ghost had been following me the whole time. And he too was hitching a ride. He told me to take a different route because he needed dropped off in the stockyards. And then once that's done, I can go home safe. And so once I get home, I turn on the TV, and sure enough, the guardian angel was trying to get me to avoid an incident once I had gotten back to town. And got me back home, where I could relax. Crazy, huh? Okay, so October 31st, 2013 was a day that went without incident. As I was hauling a load of grain and was assigned to haul a load of fertilizer the next day. So, November 1st, 2013. I was going down Interstate 74 and had just got off the exit. Went to turn right near the town of Danville, Illinois. As I was getting ready to pull into this facility, suddenly and without any warning, the rear spline that connects the two differentials on my truck came off, and the car behind me ran it over. And this would lead to a sequence of events that would ultimately result in me leaving that job, because I believe that truck was haunted. I also had a guy went just before this happened. A being appeared in the passenger seat next to me. And told me to stop running junk equipment. But I refused to listen. after that incident, there had been several other near misses where that rear spline kept coming loose. And no matter what I would do, that part would keep coming off, keep coming detached. It'd keep failing. And I had enough. So about 6 months later, I ended up quitting that job and going to a company that would provide me with newer and better equipment. And things went much better after that. So, hopefully you got some spooky stories to share down in the comments. And if you do like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below. Until next time, let's make your best trip your next trip. Keep learning, keep thinking, keep on trucking, and hopefully nothing spooky will happen to you. Bye for now.